Welcome, my dear friends. Today on our Brand Your Dream show, we have phenomenal guest, and we are going to talk about no excuses in business because today our guest is LaChelle Adkins. She is a marketing coach and America's Supermom. She helping people to find their voice. And because she has 15 kids, she actually doing it phenomenally well with no excuses at all. And today she's going to share with us the productivity and all the ideas, motivation ideas, how she does it without getting crazy, without getting lost, and how she does it every single day. Hi,
Okay.
Lachelle. How are you doing?
I am doing awesome. I am so glad to be here with you today, Eve, and happy that we connected and now we're on this platform. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm also absolutely excited because, as I said, anytime my clients tell me that, oh my God, if you know, I have two kids, or I have three kids, or I have my one kid in home, I don't have time to do my homework. I have so much to do, and I just
Mhm.
don't have time. And now I can absolutely call it excuses because I know you. And
Aw.
I'm like, I know LaChelle Adkins, she has 15 kids and she can do it all because she's on podcast, she's doing her blogs, she's doing this and that, and she's all the time in my timeline. Make me feel ashamed a little bit. So, 15 kids, literally, do you also have 24 hours in a day like all of us? Or how do you
Yes.
manage it? Give us three tips, the best tips, how we can manage our time. Tell us that.
Yes. I love that. The first thing I would say is clarity. When you're clear about what it is that you need to do, then you can do just small pockets of time can be more impactful. So, a quick thing for me is like if I'm on Facebook, usually making a post, I will click over to Messenger and it shows me who's active at that time. So, I'm about relationship building. So, whoever in my connections are online, I send them a note like, Happy Saturday. How are you doing today? And it's a blanket message that I prepare. And then I just copy and paste it with everybody who is online at the time. It's organic, but it's an opportunity to kind of have that one on one, or I'll do it in a voice form or a quick video for a couple of them. So that's one thing, is to think about how you can maximize your time. And that happens when you have that clarity. The next thing is collaborating. So you say that I'm in your timeline. Now we cross paths through a lot of different groups, and it's because we're around the right people that help us to keep moving forward. And so collaboration is key because when you're around the right people, their activity promotes your activity. So it's like, nobody has time to be sitting on the sidelines. It's like, hey, what are you doing? So we kind of keep each other accountable. So that's the another tip with that. And then the third thing is not taking yourself so seriously. We sometimes have these big audacious goals and I do promote those. I think that's important. But relax. Don't be so structured. Be flexible. Be able to be open to opportunities. If I'm so busy being structured all the time, a lot of new opportunities that have come my way, I would not have been able to take part in those. So you want to kind of have room for flexibility. So that's like, don't have your calendar fully packed, because if something comes up spontaneous, you won't have any room to put it on your daily activities.
Awesome. I love these tips.
Mhm.
So let's talk about the second question, and that's like, imagine these days when you really don't want to do anything because all of us have these days. We just don't
Mhm.
want to get up, we just don't want to cook
Mhm.
the breakfast. And well, some of us have this opportunity to do nothing and stay in bed all day, but definitely
Mhm.
having 15 kids, you just don't have this opportunity. So, how do you motivate yourself to feel excited and powerful and strong and, well, positive, because you have to be positive for your kids. So give us
Hmm.
another three tips.
Yes. So for that, I call that a mental health day because I've struggled with depression in the past, and that was from pushing myself beyond my limits. So usually, the first sign of overwhelm for me shows up when I start lacking motivation. It's like I know I need to rest, and so I don't ignore it. I talk to my kids. We usually have mental health days together. It's like, hey, we're having a mental health day. We watch movies, or, we do a task around the house, play games or something. And we're just open about it. There were times that, they just, I say you're not sick, but there's sometimes when you just have to take rest. And so my younger ones, being 6 and 9, they understand that more than my older ones can, because I never was in a space to understand the mental fatigue that can have its impact on your mood and things like that. So there are times, and usually when we start out with that kind of mindset, it's like a trigger, it's like a different kind of day for us. Sometimes it's just really like an hour that you could take to do something different. So instead of getting right up doing school, it's like, okay, guys, we're having breakfast. We're going to have like a family meeting, talk about why I'm not really motivated today. What are some things that I've been struggling with? And it's like a family conversation. And then we kind of give everybody time to share. We may do an activity, and then the rest of the day, we may get back to work. But usually, it is really addressing the fact that you do have those times. And I think that's a sign that you need to not ignore it, but you need to take action, massive action in the right type of way so that you can bounce back quickly from those kind of days.
So you told that you overcome the depression, and I know that a lot of your messages build around this. And I absolutely love that you are open about the mental health with your kids, because I think our society missing this part, and mental health has to be discussed, and with kids specifically, with adults, with everyone, because it's really important part of our life. We are always overwhelmed, but I know that you have some phenomenal system which is called Smile. So share with
Hmm.
us something about that.
Yes. So, thanks for reminding me about that, because, what I have found in my own journey is that I created a strategy to help me overcome depression and maintain a life depression free, which was really a basis of what I teach a lot of women when it comes to taking uh, the transforming your mindset and overcoming your limiting beliefs. But that strategy really works once you feel like you are in depression or you're trying to overcome it. So for me, the smile is about being proactive. It's like, why do you have to get sick? I read this post the other day that says, why should you have to get sick to get better? So you really shouldn't have to be sick in order for you to take action if you know that certain things can result from us not being aware. So the smile tackles 5 things that you should really be cognizant of on a daily basis so that you can don't fall into that getting stuck or being in that negativity pit that is hard to get out of. So the elements of the smile is an acronym. The first one is your sleep, then your mood, your inner voice, laughter, and energy. So I was able to pretty much look at those areas because during my depression, I was hospitalized 3 times and I didn't see the signs. So each of my hospitalizations, my husband sought intervention for me because I wasn't looking at what was going on. I was totally just running myself like a horse trying to do all these things and not really noticing the things that were being impacted around me. So I think it's very important to use the wisdom from my experience and say, hey, these were some of the things. I was not sleeping. I would sleep for 3 or 4 hours a night, for a course of years. Now, You compound on that, you're nursing, you're getting up with your kids in the middle of the night because they might not have a good dream and not being able to sleep well, all these different things, or going to bed too late. So that quality sleep I didn't have. So that affects how I make decisions. It affects my mood. It affects what I'm saying to myself. And so a number of those could be tackled just with you getting enough sleep. That affects your energy if you don't get enough sleep. And then the laughter component, I could laugh all day outside of my household. But when I got home, it was just that reminder that, you're failing at being a mother because you've got this checklist and you're not getting anything done. Because I came from being an only child with a history of being a high performer, high achiever, always responsible for me accomplishing what I sought out to do. So every day when I made a checklist for myself, which I feel like, well, I'm should be empowered enough to make my own checklist. Why is it that I'm not accomplishing what's on this checklist? So really not having the right insight to look at, and it just now is so simple because it's like if you have 5 things on your checklist and every day for a period of, let's just say it's 3 days, you only get 2 things done. Why are you starting every day with 5 things on your list instead of just starting off with two? you know? So it's simple things like this that, most people can just quickly look at your pattern of what you're doing, but I wasn't reflecting. I was busy people pleasing. I had no clarity. All these things could just be eliminated if I was able to reflect or even have that mindset to say, what is the pattern here? I wasn't looking at the pattern. I was just looking at what I wasn't getting done.
I love the system. I think it's amazing and it's really powerful how many times we are really missing the ideas that we just need the simple things like laughter, like sleeping, like really relate to things which we do because many times just not aware what they do because they are doing the thing for such a long time. Like that what you
Hmm.
said about this extra points in our list which we're moving on the next day every single time. I think all of us can relate to that.
Hmm.
Truly speaking, it's so common. So, what exactly do you do? Tell us more about your business. Who do you help? How do you help them? And what is your business all about?
Yes. So, collaboration really allows me to put my hands in a lot of different things. So, my husband and I met in college. I have a marketing degree. So marketing is really my first love. So anything that related to networking, marketing, I have a membership for people to have that accountability to help them with business tips so that they can flourish in terms of their exposure, getting more clear on who they serve by the type of marketing and networking that they do. The next thing is being able to help women who have not really been able to identify what their voice is. So what I feel is I'm really a facilitator in this. I call myself a lifestyle designer because the thing that I do is help women to be able to recognize that the voice that they need to follow is their own. It's buried underneath a lot of extra baggage and stuff that is not serving them. And so I really take them on a journey of building their confidence to overcome some of those things that they allow to stop them from moving forward. I can only tell people what I know that happened for me. And that was my story. It was like, okay, yeah, you were great in college and high school and all the other education, but right now you've got this period for a course of time that you feel like you're not thriving or surviving. So what is it that you can learn from this time that you can help other people? And I think it was just the awareness. I really had to drop my ego because my ego was so high with being a high performer, getting the accolades from my own actions, that this ego stopped me from moving forward because, I didn't want to tell anybody what I was struggling with. Now, I'm an only child. we wouldn't have more than 3 or 4 people in our house at a time. So, how would I know how to manage, cook, clean everything with a family of sometimes, 17 people being in the house? I mean, go figure. So some of these things, like I say, it just seems like it's common sense. But when you're in that mode of thinking asking for help is a weakness because you come from being competitive and always having all the answers, to kind of go into this mode of not knowing everything, asking for help, and being okay with that, that was a hard lesson for me to learn. And so it was, really pivotal for me to really learn that lesson in order for me to move forward now. And now it's like, hey, I just am an open book. I can tell you anything. I can laugh at myself and everything because it's not that pressure of feeling like I have to know everything. I'm excited because every day I choose to learn new things. So I remind myself that, I don't want to get stuck in this complacency of thinking this is the way it should always be. I always am open for change.
So it's absolutely amazing. I love what you do. I do understand the motivation behind that, and I do understand that you are absolute expert of managing so many people and stay sane. And it itself is a powerful thing for many
Hmm.
of us. It's like something. Actually, it's an unbelievable achievement. So you say it's high achieving and high achiever and stuff like that. You actually achieved so much. It's phenomenal. So how
Oh,
people can reach you out, how they can work with you.
yes. The best way is to follow me on all my social platforms. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. So they could reach me through America's Supermom, looking me up there, or just LaChelle Adkins. I also can be reached by email at info@lachelleadkins.com.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited because I think you give so much value in this interview and it will be so super valuable for a long, long time. And I promise I will absolutely send people to you who give me that crazy excuses that they can't manage something. Come on, you
Yes.
can. They can do it too. And you can teach
Yeah.
them in case they don't know how. So,
Yeah. And I think, the biggest thing is just like, we're collaborating on this interview because, we notice a need and we connect with people who see that same need and we provide a solution. And so that's really what collaboration is about. My latest project that I'm just really fond of during the global pandemic is to have a book collaboration that I was able to do. It's International Women of the World. And I'm the only one from the United States that's a part of that collaboration. But it's a testament to we get in our own way because sometimes we want to get all the credit, but when we collaborate, we can achieve more because we can focus on what is the mission. And if everybody works towards that mission, we can accomplish that goal a lot faster and it can be done. Because if I was so busy about getting the credit with everything I've had to juggle, my kids being in school, now they're at home, that book would be in my computer right now
true, true.
waiting to be done. But when you collaborate, you can get things done and it can really impact and help people when it really needs to be available. So that's one of the things I would say about really recognizing that when you're in a space of collaborating and doing your zone of genius and everybody else is doing their zone of genius, you are just working in exceptional territory, you're able to accomplish so much more than everybody trying to do all things in some areas that they're not good at.
Absolutely. Together we are stronger. And it's
Hmm.
important to realize that we are way more collaborators than competitors because I think the
Yes.
era when we were all competitive and were trying to be better than others is kind of over. And
Yeah.
hopefully it is over. Then
Hmm.
we really
Yes.
need to focus on collaboration and learn how to improve our skills together to make all the world better. Because is that what's going on? We probably need to focus on that a little bit more.
So true. So true. I totally agree.
Thank you so much for being on this interview. I loved every single minute of it.
Thank you for having me, Eve. And I look forward to having you on my show. Okay.
Absolutely, promise.
All right.
See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.